Vipersoles here back once again, guys. Today is July 18th, Sunday, and I hope everyone had a great weekend. As you saw in my last live comp, I mentioned this podcast. We're recording the day after, so I want to say thank you. I'm here, C2 Cammy. You can follow me on my socials, and we have a special guest co-host for now.
DJ Scratt, 85 Funds.
Okay, yeah, so we got Matthew Spaniel right here. He's my good man. We started doing shoots together in high school, only as a hobby, and it progressed into something, way bigger. But so we're going to take the first 5-10 minutes to do an intro on who we are, and he's going to explain himself. So go ahead, Matt.
All right, so my name is Matt. I'm a DJ, urban
Speak
planner.
up.
I'm a DJ, urban planner, and recovering sneakerhead.
Okay.
Let's see. Met him freshman year of high school, for real.
2012.
Yeah. I taught him a couple things about the sneaker game back in the day.
Yeah.
He learned well, and he's doing his thing now.
Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, okay, so tell the audience about how you got into shoes and maybe like your first release you actually went for, whether it be online or in store or whatever.
I got you. So I got into sneakers mainly, it was just big like in middle school for real. Like it's when it really started out. Like a lot of people, like back in the day around here, like phone posits were really the big thing. And also I had like this little like Bible study group for church, and like there's these two dudes in there that like was really into sneakers. They had like all the shit that I really wanted back then for real. So yeah, like that just pushed me to real like do whatever I had to do, like scrap money together. I started like mowing lawns and like just saving up like spare like much money and change around the house to like get my own stuff.
Okay. Tell them about prior to Nike sneakers because you were telling me the other day about how the Nike releases were, and also about the foot site releases online as well when you would go for them.
Yeah, for sure. So like, I started going like for shoes online way back, so like 2012 for real was when I started, like 2012, 2013. First sneaker I copped online was 2013, the Playoff 8s.
Playoff 8s, okay.
So back then I'd go off of like East Bay or like Foot Action or Foot Locker or any of those sites, and I was hitting for real like.
With no bot, guys, no bot.
I basically just like filled in like all my like address, like shipping information, card information, and all that beforehand, and then all I had to do was basically just add the card to hit checkout, and I had everything on autofill. So like that worked for a minute for real. Like as long as I say like that like little like hot period during the sneaker game, I like to say like when we was in high school, like that always worked for real. Like most of the time for what I went for.
And especially after, cause honestly, guys, like you were saying, I was able to manual on foot sites up until 2019 fall. Last shoe I mainly got off of foot sites was the Obsidian ones, maybe the red satin ones, right before SneakerCon. So like 2012 up until now, back when we were in high school, shoes probably had decent stock. Less people bought it, less people going for shoes. Let's just say that. So when that happened, there's more chance for people that didn't have bots that actually like the shoe to go get them like we did. So like I never went for any like online releases or any in-store releases just because. But I always would trade up shoes, I always buy and sell and stuff like that. So he was really the one camping out. All those folklore stories about camping out, getting robbed, this and that. Like he's seen it, he's been around it. Tell him about the Carmine release of 2014, the end of sophomore year of high school.
So I actually didn't do that much camping out for real. Like,
okay.
It was only one release. There's only one release I actually successfully like camped out the whole night for, and I can't even say successfully because I ended up knocking the shoe. And that story is in this box right here.
Show us what you got then.
All right, so these are the Carmine 6s.
Peep the dust on it, fellas. Peep the dust.
Yeah, man. I'll bring these out once every blue moon for real.
These are from 2014, right?
2014.
Show the team.
I'm doubled up now, courtesy of Vipersoles.
Yeah, doubled up.
Yeah, here they are. 2014 Carmine 6s. So, crazy thing about these is I actually did not get these on the release night. I stayed up all night, camped out at our local mall. Let's see, like right after school, we went over there. A lot of people was telling me to skip school and go over earlier to like get my name on the list, and I ain't listen. I was figuring like, nobody's really gonna go over there before then. Like it's not that serious type shit.
Oh, it was definitely serious.
So I went over there, and by the time I was over there was already people like set up with like tents and like hanging out in the back of their car and stuff. So, yeah.
You didn't get them on the release day.
It was a crazy night for it. We had all types of stuff going on,
people skipping the line.
Yeah, people was coming in, skipping the line. Like I forgot exactly how it worked. Like they do like a check-in like periodically. So
every hour or every hour and a half.
Yeah, like every hour and a half. So if you wasn't still there, like they cross your name off the list. So I think somebody like stepped out and then they tried to come back and then I think they let them back on or something. And then,
you messed up for everybody.
Yeah, people started ripping shit over that. And
right.
There's some other stuff like I mean.
So how did you end up getting them?
So I didn't get them on release day. Back then, a lot of dudes would do is they wait out all night for the shoe, and then there'd be like another shoe that would drop that day, like a pair of like LeBrons or KDs or something.
Yeah.
There was some KD 6s. I don't remember which ones they wore, but one of the dudes always waited all night. He ain't grabbed me either. And the next morning he showed up to school with the KDs and was like, yeah,
I really wanted these instead.
Like he's trying to cry. That's what I was really waiting for. But anyway.
Yeah, Welling, capping.
Yeah, but like.
But show him the sole. Look at this.
So
Matt,
2014.
So Matthew, he wears his shoes. It may not seem like it, but he's worn his shoes a couple times. He likes to clean his shoes very avidly so they look new. So, like I said, like I told you all before, like the whole point of this channel, this podcast, is really bridge the gap between resellers, botters, and like sneaker YouTubers. So it's like we first started off at we're still sneakerheads, and I took it to the next level and became a reseller. I love shoes.
I ain't big on all these terms. I still love shoes, but
yeah. So, I mean,
he's definitely taking it farther than I am.
Yeah, of course. So like we're always trying to just see where's the common ground. Like we all love shoes. Some people like it more than others. And like I said, the shoe industry has changed a lot since we were in high school. Like I would say, like when we first met, I didn't start getting shoes till after that release. That summer, sophomore summer, 2014 summer is when I first started getting shoes for myself. And my shoe I got.
Because you ain't finish my story.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So how I actually ended up getting these. So I didn't grab them, and I wasn't grabbing the KD. So my man that was also there grabbed them, told me that he had a cousin that grabbed them from, I think, down the way, like Lake Forest or something. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I grabbed them off of him for, a little higher price than retail. I ain't gonna say what it was, but,
He paid it, and that was back before StockX, so, eBay pricing, and there's no really...
It wasn't crazy, though. Like,
it wasn't, yeah.
I don't think crazy. I never... The first time I ever paid more than $300 for a shoe was like last year, maybe something like that. So before that, like I'd always find like a way to like either just browsing, like back then it was Kixify was big,
right?
Or just eBay or whatever the case may be. Like I throw up like little lowball bids or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I get them for like I wouldn't get them for retail, but I get like a good resale price on them.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, now back to me. Like I said, I didn't start collecting shoes till my sophomore summer because that's when I got my first job. Like I said, our parents didn't get us no shit. Like he was doing lawn stuff. I was in the crib playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2. You feel me? So it's like I didn't really was able to get shoes until I had a job. So I got my first job at McDonald's. Before school started, I was like, I need to get some shoes. So off this one guy that we used to be good friends. We don't talk as much anymore. But he had a pair of visible cloak penny fives, whatever they are, and he also had these phone deposits right here. This is where we started it all. These still smell like my original pair. This is not my original pair, but I got them back this past year because I love them so much. These are the stealth phone deposits, guys. These came out in, do you know, Matt? I really don't know when they actually came out. 2012, 2013, right. So yes, my friend had them, and they actually smell just like the pair I had, which is funny. Same booth, right. But yeah, I got these back for a good price. But yeah, these are one of my favorite shoes. My first shoe I ever had were these phone pods. I got them this in the pennies for about $80 total. So it was a very, very good come up. And then from here, got Olympic 6s, used, just a bunch of used shoes. I didn't start getting new shoes till after I graduated, guys, because I didn't really know how to get shoes online and shit like that. So, but yeah, though. So this was one of my first shoes, and it really taught me a lot about how to manage my money and how to really like shoes, like now I see shoes as a piece of art. You feel me? So like I don't really see it as just money. So that's why you'll see me. I'll say, yeah, I'm gonna hold these for myself. If I can't sell them, I'll just wear them. Cause I still enjoy the shoes. I'm not just a culture vulture. I at one point, like I knew every shoe that came out like every year up until 2016. You feel me? Because I had this app right in the library. So these 16s, those ones are from 2000, whatever. Boo, boo, boo. Dr. Doom's original from 2006 or wherever they are from. You feel me? Like I had I had a good understanding about shoes, and I still do. Like I still know every colorway, mostly of every shoe coming out, because I keep up with it. So
I still got some on the road from time to time.
Yeah, it definitely does. But yeah, guys. So with that intro out the way, we already said what favorite shoe we own, and these happen to be the favorite shoes that we own. So these are the Carmines. I'm gonna put the Carmines up on here and put them to the side. I'm gonna put them right here. But yeah, so now we're gonna get into like a real topic. So what do you think was the rise and the fall of the shoe? I guess Jordans or shoes in general. Do you think like the rise? Like I think the rise was the Concourse coming out. What was that? 8th grade or 7th grade?
I don't know about the rise. I think right now as far as sneaker culture, I think it's as big as it's ever been for real. I mean, it's not the.
No, I'm talking about when did they start rising? Like when it was like when do you know that like I would say the Concord release just because that's when I first heard about shoes, and that was Concourse came out with 2011. So that was 2011 December of 2011.
Yeah.
Then that was 8th grade. Yeah, 8th grade.
Yeah, so 8th grade was like. I mean, it's
but even throughout 8th grade, we see basketball, LeBrons. You feel me? Like
I feel like it's KD's, like 7th, 8th grade is when I really noticed it. I feel
which
like
is 2011, 2010, 2011 is when.
I feel like that's just might be just kind of like our age range too. Like that's just when you start like kind of like
noticing stuff.
Yeah, like noticing stuff, like really caring about like how you dress and all that type of stuff.
But the Concords were a big man, and the Galaxy foams. Right. That All-Star Weekend was in 2012 February.
It just happened that we was kind of like coming up like right
in that same age group where people were starting to care about shoes and shoes starting to blow up. So
because I mean, like in hindsight, like the Space Jam release before that.
They did. I mean,
like 2009.
Yeah, it was normal.
But like those were big releases. People was camping out for those and all that stuff too. Like,
Any
Yeezys prior to that. Like,
the Yeezy ones. Yeah, people were came up with that.
There were big releases before that, but I say for us, that was when like
everything changed. Yeah, for sure.
I noticed, like I really started to become familiar with it.
Yeah, when I saw Concord 11s, I'm like, yo, and then prior to after that, we seen like 100 fakes.
Well, like I said, there was those two dudes from my like church group that that I really got exposed to it. So that was before. It was a little bit. It was like that year. So like early or like late 2011. Like we was just going into 8th grade.
Right.
Type shit. So I mean, I guess I didn't really get exposed to sneakers like through that. I got exposed to it mostly through those dudes that I knew, right? Mm-hmm. But like later on when I was going to school, like I remember when the Galaxies came out, like people that wasn't really into shoes already like that started talking about it and all that type of stuff.
Right. Yeah, because I think 7th, 8th, or 8th, 9th grade, that was what everyone wanted. Sure, everyone wanted some type of what the Kobe's or LeBron 10s. Or like KD 6s, man. KD 6s were definitely a thing. But yeah, guys. So like the rise is around that time. I think the Concord releases was really like made everybody aware of what shoes was, and the foams. I think the Galaxy foam posits is what really made everyone think about shoes in a different type of way. Because we were seeing stories about people trading their houses for their cars for shoes.
No, I mean it was like documentaries. I forgot the one. There was documentaries about that beforehand, like about sneaker culture and all that.
What are you talking about?
I don't remember what it was.
Was it on Netflix or no?
Anybody knows, just drop it in the comment section. But it was one like it had like, see like a video. It had like what's his name? Tinker Hatfield. He like put like the Concords up on the desk in the middle of it. And it was like talking about like how people like devoted their whole lives to this and like had like basements full of shoes. But I think that film was from like 2006. So okay. Like that. So I mean, like I said, I feel like part of it is just kind of like when we're conscious of it is just when we really became familiar with it. Might be. But
I mean, from what we hear from people,
like the Galaxy phone posits, I say like that was the first time like I heard somebody like trading their car for shoes. And so forth.
It was crazy.
I mean, there was definitely like shoes like that were more limited and stuff that dropped before that. Like as far as SBs, like what's it called, like the Pigeon SBs and stuff. Like that. Like,
but only certain few SBs really sell out.
But like that was like I guess like the sneaker culture and community was definitely smaller at that point.
Smaller, right? So only certain
especially as far as like online, you had like Nike Talk and like Nice Kids and like shit like that, but it wasn't really as big.
Right, like now anybody like I know maybe some of my viewers are younger. You'll see like maybe kids are 10 or 12. The stuff has already been around. Like we grew into this. You feel me? It's not like this was around. Like shoes were around before we were born. We were both born in '98. But the thing about it is like the explosiveness of the yeah. But we were both born in '98, so the explosiveness of what made it boom was really the Galaxy phone posits. Cause then we seen it because like as soon as one big wave goes out, a bunch of stupid fakes.
That's the other thing. So phone posits like in our area.
DMV.
Like, these were the shit even before the Galaxy phone. Like,
that was
the shit, bro.
Yeah,
like, bro.
Let your limes, let your greens.
Even like that's what I was saying. Like in middle school, like I always saw dudes wearing these.
Gym greens.
Even before like the Galaxies and all that.
But the Galaxies would really let everybody look. And same with the Conquest. The Conquest had news surrounding those releases. People getting robbed, shot at.
Yeah,
mobbed.
I mean, people was getting spanked and like they hit bus for phone posits for a minute. Even where we at, I ain't gonna say where we at. But like we y'all like on the outskirts of the DMV.
We're not in the inner.
But like that was like the biggest.
But sometimes the people from the outskirts brought their BS here when it came to sneaker release and stuff.
I mean there was BS here already, but I'm just saying like as far as like phone posits, like these were already big in this area. Before the Galaxies dropped. You know what I mean? Like I mean like even like it came from just the culture around here, but I guess like Wale was a big part of like popularizing phone posits outside.
For sure.
Really exposed it to them.
Oh yeah, so the rise of it, we're gonna say, let's wrap that up. Rise was about 2011, 2012, and it kept going up through high school, through the car release 2014, and let's talk about what happened in 2015, 2016. So what happened?
I'd say around 2015, 2016.
Was the quality control, like was the stock numbers, or what happened? Why was shoes sitting
quality
up until 2019?
Better. Quality got better.
You think so? Okay.
Absolutely.
So back when the Harris came out, the Harris and Bordeaux 7s came out.
The Jordan brand's quality, I'm just mostly focused on the Nike Jordan brand, right? But Jordan brand specifically, their quality, like around the time we got into it for real, like was trash for the most part. Yeah. I mean, these didn't have the best leather, but like the worst example of this, I'd say, is like the Fire Red 5s from around this time. Like it had real like stiff leather and stuff.
Everything was stiff on that shoe.
So I mean, like around like a lot of like the sneaker community and stuff, you'd always see it on YouTube videos. We'll always be complaining about that. And at the time, like I guess I noticed it wasn't best materials, but I never had any like the older releases to compare it to, so I didn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also these releases up until 2015, they weren't reflective of the OG at all.
Like there was a big difference.
Big differences. So Bordeaux 2011 wasn't like the original Bordeaux, like with the color patches. The infrared 6s weren't the same as the originals that came out. So it's like they were just making shoes that we like a nice little spin on it, but they weren't true to the OG.
So people started complaining about that. Around that time, around like 2015, like late 2014, early 2015, Jordan made this big deal that they was gonna remaster all the shoes to like bring them back to the original form that like everybody, like the sneaker community had been requesting, I guess. Now at that same time, the price point went up on everything. So like let's say these, I think they retail for like 160, 170. Like most like GR retro releases like went up to like 190 around that time.
Okay.
And like the ones that would have like the Nike Air on the back and stuff, like the OG colorways, like sometimes they hit like 200, like basically the same stuff we've been paying ever since.
Right.
So my theory is they just wanted to raise the price point. They kind of like they had to like throw us a little like extra cookie or something for it. Basically say like if we're gonna raise the price, we're gonna make the quality a little bit better. But I'll say like that during that stretch was like the best quality I've seen on GR or Jordan release.
From 2015 up until 2019.
Yeah, it really until recently that's really most of what I bought was GR.
Cement 3s were good quality. The last shoe that was OG
Cement
color
3 is the best. As the Smith 4s was the best quality.
Smith 4s, okay.
I've seen honestly Smith 4s. What else?
What
I mean, a lot of other stuff like with the Oreo 4s.
No, it wasn't the Oreo 4s.
The Oreo 4s had good quality.
Oh yeah, the leather was tough on those.
Those wasn't like the Obsidian 4s? Is that what they
call it? The Columbia 4s.
Columbia 4s, yeah.
Those came out senior year, right?
Right, Columbia 4s.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
2015.
Them Jones had some decent leather on it.
Yeah, those were sleeper shoe for a while because, like, you feel me? It was like people were not sick of getting the older colorways. Like we were accustomed to getting the OGs built but with a twist on it. So when we see, oh, this shoe got a Nike Air on the back, this shoe got this, or the color's not the same shading like me, I always tell Matt, man, I love those mid 2000s shoes because I just like the colors on them. The colors, they do something different than the OGs. But then you look back, I'm like, yeah, why is this shoe crumbling? Like, why is this? You feel me? Like he barely wears these. Like he wears the shoes, but why is it paint chipping? You feel me?
I wore these. I ain't gonna use. I wore these probably like what?
15 times, 20 times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like 20 times.
I wore them a couple times in high school. Since high school, I probably worn them like
10, like 5.
Yeah, like 5 times.
Five times.
But yeah, like you got some like midsole cracking, like stuff like that. But stuff like that, I don't even really care too much about. That's gonna happen. But like as far as like the materials and stuff, like I definitely noticed the difference when they started remastering the shoe.
Remaster the shoe, right?
So but like for whatever reason, when that happened, I also noticed the demand for Jordans definitely declined.
Yep.
Time. I say.
I think it
was a combination of things. I think one was Kanye's move to Adidas, like when Yeezys
started popping off.
Yeah, it started becoming more widely available. I guess like
no, because 2015 they weren't widely available, but they were more sought after. You say that?
I ain't gonna
because they weren't widely available to 2018.
I'm not saying widely. They were more widely available than the Nike Yeezys. Even as soon as he went to Adidas, those like the 350s, like they were more widely available than the Nike Yeezys.
Easier
like
to
Nike
obtain.
Yeezys, like were like that was some shit if you had those, bro. Like you feel me?
Right, yeah, that was very hard to get.
So like they like the Adidas Yeezys started to become kind of like attainable to the same
extent as these were.
As Jordans, yeah, like they were like what Jordans or phone positives were to us, like at that time.
Yeah,
right?
for these new people.
So I guess like they flocked more to those, and they just like the increase of like the retail price might have scared some people off. I don't know if that could have been a factor for it.
I think honestly, the stock numbers.
Yeah, that's probably it. Might be it too, and I don't. That's the thing. I don't really know that much about the stock numbers. I don't know what the case is with that.
Well, like tell us about because you said a shoe would drop, but it would keep
around that
throughout
time,
the year.
Bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like that was my favorite time. Like as far as sneaker culture for real, it was 2015 to like 2017 for real. Cause like nothing was selling out. Like as far as the stuff that I was focused on, like I love like OG colorways of Jordans for real.
Mm-hmm.
So like all that shit, like True Blue 3s, Cement 3, Black Cement 3s and sell out. But like stuff like that, Aqua 8s, that was the best shit, bro. Like the Aqua 8s, those was sitting.
Now guys, mind you, we're saying between 2015 and 2019, shoes were selling out, but they were attainable by anybody. Think about this, Black Cat 4 set. Go on StockX right now and look back. Those came out right before senior year.
Aqua 8s was sitting, bro. Like,
yeah, Aqua 8s was sitting.
Those was on.
Well, like they're 8s. Not a lot of people like 8s. I don't mind 8s. I like 8s.
That's great. I mean, 8s before that was not sitting like that. Like 8s, them Joes like was sitting on the shelf at.
And also, things were going on clearance. Things were going on clearance. Like, 2 weeks after, we would have that rule. We were like,
and then Maroon 5 was sitting too. Like all that.
The Maroon 6s, you mean?
I mean Maroon 6s.
Maroon 6s, yes, those were sitting. That was 2017 fall. Or was that 2016? No, that was 2016 fall or 2015 fall. Was Maroon 6s?
That was 2015 fall, like early 2016.
Because I know Shane had the Maroon 6s, but I don't know if we were in high school when he had them.
But like that was my favorite time because all the shit that I wanted was
widely available.
Yeah, I could just go in the mall. That was the first time I could ever just go in the mall and just grab what I wanted.
Yeah, grab. Yeah, that was crazy.
But like a lot of times, like the Aqua 8s, I didn't even grab them from the mall. I got them from under retail
on StockX.
That was before Stock. I didn't start using StockX till college.
Okay.
But yeah, like that's the first time like I grabbed a shoe like that under retail, like a G or like an OG colorway of a Jordan retro. So,
yeah, like mine, like during this time, 2015 to 2019, this timeline, things were getting remastered.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't an OG color, well, obviously OG color, but like
them things was on point, bro. Like to the original, like
detail.
Like they got a lot of things right. I'm not gonna.
So were the hair 7s and Bordeaux 7s like part of that remaster pack or no?
Yeah,
okay.
I had the Bordeaux.
I had the hairs. I had both.
The Bordeaux was on.
Hairs crap.
Yeah.
Well, I missed my Storm Jones around 2016, beginning of college.
All the time, like, man, bring the days back.
Yeah, definitely bring those days back. But yeah, but yeah though. So like things weren't going on sale. People weren't going for shoes, and Yeezys were pretty much taking the forefront. But like I said, I was still manually copying off of foot sites up until 2019. So throughout that time,
other things, I also think like people's like styles and tastes was changing a little bit around that time. Like
rise of influencers.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Yeah, it's rise of influencers.
But I'm saying like, I mean, before influencers, celebrities were influencers. But I'm saying like, as far as like fashion and stuff, because that was when like. Alright, so I remember the first time like skinny jeans started really like becoming like.
Yeah, that was like middle school.
Yeah, like middle school. It's really because of, I don't know how hard this hit everybody, but like around like I would say like
2009, 2010,
yeah, jerking was
Pause. We're talking about jerking the dance, guys. Is this for educational purposes? Do not copyright strike. We don't copyright strike. Talking about the dance jerking.
Jerking was the shit.
Yeah, it was, and that's inspired the style.
And so yeah, like everybody was like, I guess like jerking's like fashion was real similar to like I guess what skaters were wearing, so like skinny jeans and like shoelace belts and wild colorful shit and all that.
Yeah.
So like that went away, and I guess for like a couple years following that, people just like started dressing just like I guess like normal again for a minute, like not like dumb baggy, but just kind of not like baggy shit for real, like you feel me? And then like around I say like 2015 and stuff, like man, them jogger khakis hit like a damn media.
Jogger khakis, man. Jogger khakis is a crazy thing, man. I wish I had some jogger khakis to show y'all.
Man, I had a stick in my jogger khakis.
We had a friend that was wearing jogger khakis and a polo junior. He was a freshman, we were junior in high school. Too funny. Joggers and polos, button ups.
On the bike every day.
On the bike every day. But yeah though.
Man, this man was a Hawaiian shirt to jog.
Yeah. I'm gonna publish some pictures of my old fits on here, and his too.
But yeah,
the
whole time like, so I feel like that fashion was changing. I think like the shoes was part of it. Like as far as like Jordans, I don't think like retro Jordans anyone are ever gonna go out of style completely. But like, I think like around that time, like most of the hype beasts or whatever was flocking to like starting to flock to like ones. Like that shit was like starting out for real.
One sat.
Yeah, like one sat is weird, but it was
always sat. Shadow ones always sat.
I think it was around like 2015, 2016 is when I started like seeing like celebrities mostly wearing those more.
But ones were catching on because
like Uzi and like Lil Yachty and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I always seen them like busting out like ones and stuff a lot more.
Yeah, like we didn't like ones. I didn't like ones. I didn't get my first pair of ones till this year.
Yeah.
Because I was like the other numbers of Jordans. I thought ones were the most plain because.
But like casually, it'd be like 1 or 2 releases a year that like would really catch on like to the masses. I guess you could say.
Back then, now it's everything.
Yeah. So like. Like around that time, I guess like people's like style and taste was changing a little bit. Like I guess like you more see this with like I don't know, like I just associate like 6s or like 8s or something like with like baggy ass jeans or like shit like that.
I mean, you can say something
like see this is like baggy, like phone pods the same shit. We'll get the phones later, but phone pods is like baggy ass jeans like a North Face and some shit like that. Like that's
what it was.
Like the type of shit, you feel me? And then people would start to switch up how they dress a little bit. You feel me? So, I mean, I say that was a factor. The other factor is, we already said that E's coming out.
E's coming out, but no, just...
You were saying stock numbers,
And I think StockX too.
Oh yeah, StockX definitely. That definitely.
Because that was because StockX came out like in high school.
That changed the whole like reselling market.
Yeah, and shoes are already becoming more widely available. So what happens? Like now, I somewhere where I can dunk dump shoes at a price that's
Insane.
I can dump it immediately instead of eBay have to wait for it to sell. Come on now. Alright, so basically human races were coming out.
A lot of people.
Ultra Boosts were a big thing.
Yeah, Ultra Boosts. I feel like it was mostly like white folks and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think like any like sneakerheads were really grabbing Ultra Boosts like that. But like, I mean, even like that, like casual shoes and stuff. Like a lot of people started wearing like Vans,
runners,
like those like skate high Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of people wearing them. Like, type shit. I mean, like I guess like around here, like the big like casual like everyday type of shoe. I hate to put my foot up on the table and do it. $9.90, man.
$9.90 New Balances.
Like that's, feel me? So like I guess like I mean them just never went away obviously, but like they, I say like those around that time that's when like New Balances started spreading to other areas for real, like outside the DMV. Like I guess like the first place they like Baltimore was probably Baltimore, but after that like they started spreading like everywhere else. Like it was in New York started wearing. It wasn't a lot of, I don't remember a lot of like New Balance collabs or nothing like that back then. You feel me? Like New Balances were like mostly like a DMV like staple, I guess you could say. And they like as far as like where we to school, like it was mostly just like dudes would just wear that. It's like the casual like shoe just to like
right, just throw
like you can throw these on with anything type shit. You feel me?
Right,
so,
right. But back to topic at hand. Around that time, for all the J's, people were more open to wearing other shoes.
Yeah,
we're more open to other shoes. It's like I was comfortable with not wearing these and wearing a pair of Sauconys or a pair.
That's
of
what it was, cause I feel
Pumas
like
or Vans.
But I feel like that time, like 2020, like I say like 2010 to 2011, like
back
20
then.
to like like to 2014, like that was when like everybody was like you had to have like everybody was on like I guess like 90s basketball shoes mostly for real, like as far like that was the most hype type of shit for real, like that or like
KD's and LeBrons.
Yeah, KD's and LeBrons. A lot of dudes were wearing like a lot of like the I guess like all version of like the Black Force Air Force One type of dudes around here was wearing like
Griffey's and Nomos
and like
Diamond Turfs.
Yeah, Turfs and shit like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, like it shifted back to where like runners and stuff like that were like more widespread and like I guess like fashionable type shit. You feel me? So, yeah.
Okay, so that was basically we contribute that to the fall as a quick pointers. We contribute that to the fall of people going out of their usual wares, stock numbers rising, retail prices rising, and just things changing to the way it is now. So for fourth topic, we're almost done, guys. What do you think the future of the shoe market is going to go? You feel me? Because collabs have taken over in the past 5 years, and like when I said influencers earlier, I meant that like even though just like Spike Lee was wearing shoes like sneaker culture.
I don't even think it's something exclusive to sneaker culture either. It's just like there's a lot more space open for people to become an influencer for a lot.
Right.
Like I'm just not real big on like trying to claim like or it's trying to like say like who's not this or not supposed to be wearing this or that. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like as far as I'm concerned, like I just like as far as like I'm just stuck with what I like, what I've always like gravitated towards, or like what I like. Always like a tough ass design, like on a shoe or something, like a tough ass colorway. You feel me? Like I just like it's always been off of that, like based on what makes me want to buy a shoe or something or whatnot. You feel me? Like I've seen it on like if I've seen it on somebody else's feet or something. Like it's been a lot of that. Like how I started out, like the two dudes I was talking about. Like I seen it on their feet, and like I thought it was a tough ass shoe. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it's not really because I seen it on their feet that I wanted the shoe.
Right.
Type shit.
But I wanted something more than I had.
That's what I'm saying. Like especially like back then, like even back then, like hey, what would you like? It almost started out more that I was like really more into the shoes than the whole like.
People that want?
Yeah, like the culture surrounding it, I guess. I mean, like back then, like I was straight bam as far as like what I was wearing. Like back then, like I, like I said, like I was getting. I'd scrap all this money together to try to get the shoes, but I would have nothing left over for no outfits.
No outfits.
So like I'd be wearing like a plain ass white tee or like some off-brand shit that like my folks would give me from like Kohl's or Walmart or some shit, bro. Like just rock it like with the shoes. You feel me? Like something that like
something like a white T-shirt.
Yeah, right. Please don't check the tag. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Type shit. I ain't gonna like wear nothing with no like. I ain't never been no polo assassin or nothing. You feel me?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I never USPA.
I never had like no like outwardly like off-brand or fake shit.
It was just like plain.
Yeah, like or like even like back then like my grandma used to like if I had anything like something like on brand for real like it would come from my grandma. She used to give me like polo stuff. She used to work at Lord and Taylor, so she give me like some polo stuff or like some like polo like Nautica or like she give me like a North Face like one time like some stuff like that. You know what I mean?
All right, back to the topic. Future shoes. We can wrap this up in the next 20 minutes. Future shoes. Where do you think it's gonna go? In quick, give me 10 phrases. So where do you think the shoes gonna go? Do you think that by the time we have kids, it's gonna be this relevant? And do you think it's gonna be more? Cause yeah. So what do you think?
I can't really say like as far as like fashion goes, like people are always gonna gravitate towards
I think
what's popular. But, man, you gonna let me finish?
Oh, go ahead.
But I mean, like as far as like the aspect of like black culture, like. America is always going to gravitate to black culture, whatever whatever you're doing for real. So,
right.
I mean,
that's just
Jordans in particular have had so much staying power, like since forever. For real. Like I mean, a lot of the stuff we wear, like it hasn't really changed since like the '80s. Like that's where a lot of the stuff we wear was fashionable. Is like has been kind of like. It's been recycling itself since then, essentially. Like, as far as like the New Balance and stuff, like that started in the DMV back in the '80s. Like dudes on the street was wearing those, and then like Jordans is the same stuff. Like a lot of that stuff like has really been recycled. Like now there's things that have come along like foam pods and stuff along the way that kind of got adopted into that. But like as far as like the brands and stuff we're wearing, like Hugo Boss around here, like whatever it is, like a lot of that stuff comes from back then, and it's just. Like been carried forward for real, like and kind of recycled and new stuff has been added. But so I mean, as far as sneakers, I don't know if it's gonna be as big as it is now, like because I think like sneakers have just become like the main collectible like item to like obtain like a lot like I guess the way like I don't even know. It's hard to explain. Like they've almost become like what trading cards used to be or something like that. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like that going into the future. I think
like a collectible, like
for like a collectible item. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but as far as like,
but they tried doing it with the OGs, but then they realized the shoes crumble. I mean, there's like OGs are still worth a lot, but like,
what do you mean they tried doing that with the OGs?
It's like now, like people still are searching out like OG Carmine 6, OG Concord 11s, but like
right, but like it's not the same. Like people didn't. It's very few people that like chose like I'm gonna like. It was a very small amount of people back then that really said like I'm gonna collect these, and like back then the brands didn't feed into that. You feel me? Like,
right.
It wasn't like they was like releasing limited.
They would just release them for a whole year.
Yeah, like people
same
would
shoe
just
the
grab
whole
them up
7
and
months.
think like one day these might be valuable items, whatever.
Yeah, no one had no clue because shoes were still releasing the same way they always had. They go into a store, they go on clearance.
Right.
Because these shoes were going on clearance back then. There's magazines to prove it. Like certain years,
yeah.
When it wouldn't sell out, it would just go on clearance.
But I mean, like, really, when it comes down to it, a lot of things like if you make them limited, they're gonna be more sought after.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I mean, if it's too like, especially with collabs, if it's too highly desirable brands, and they collab on something and it's not a lot of numbers in that product, it's gonna be limited. That's just, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of value placed on that. The simple economics, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as far as that, I don't really see that going away anytime soon. I mean, what we're seeing now is a lot more like high-end designer brands are starting to collab with like
Jordan?
Nike,
yeah,
with like Nike or Adidas or whatever the case may be. So I don't really know, like as far as that goes, like designer brands are always different because the price point is really just off of that brand's name. Whether the product itself is limited or not. So I don't know if that might play into it later on. Like, yeah, I don't know.
That's your answer. Okay, for mine, he gave you a 10-minute answer. Okay, so for my answer, I think shoes will be fine. I think that everything goes in cycles. You feel me? The way Bobby Brown's amping like Michael. Feel me? So I just think that I just think that like things have always been like that. Like right now we're in July. People are like, oh my gosh, the shoe business isn't going as good as it was. I'm like, look, I came up in a time doing shoe stuff where every release I was missing out and shoes were just selling out, going crazy. But some shoes just weren't. You feel me? Like for example, Blush Yeezys. I got a bunch of those. They were bricks. Like less than a year later, they're going for $800 a piece. And they hit their peak and then they went down. You feel me? Like I was there during the second boom of sneakers. I would say a couple different booms between 2015 and now. But I can definitely say that the future of shoes is going to be the same way. There's always cycles. You feel me? COVID had a big part to play in any market that happened. People were buying more shoes, but I wouldn't even say it had more to do with the sneaker market with the whole COVID thing. I think it had to do with more so the body, and making like everyone wanted to be their own business person. People getting unemployment, people doing this. So I think that shoes was a thing where people were like, okay, pump money into it, and then money got pumped into it, and then people eventually said, okay, I need to go back to work. I need to go back to my main job. Well, this is my main job. So people are selling, which right now it's a buyer's market. And I'm fine with that, you feel me? Because it's like this month there has been nothing dropping. People are saying that it's been this dry, future is bleak. It's only this dry because nothing's been dropping this. There's always 2 months out of the whole year where things, they're resetting and stuff like that. So you got to adjust and move on.
I think you might be asking the wrong question.
What? Talking about the future of shoes? Like it's just
so
a cycle.
I think that's given. Like of course, like sneakers are never gonna go away and not be popular. I think it's more like what sneakers are gonna be popular in the future.
Oh, I mean, whoever's like the next popular rapper. Whoever, like, you feel me? If people, because of people,
I don't think that at all.
No, because of people.
So what happened with Master P sneakers?
Popular rapper, bruh. I'm gonna say it. If you did not learn one thing from this podcast, you're gonna learn this right now. People still look up to celebrities and do what they do.
Of course,
if a celebrity,
I'm gonna let you finish.
If people look up to people that have nothing to do with that, don't put no money in their pockets and listen to them blindly. We don't.
Right.
You feel me? But the masses do, right? Right. So all you need is somebody that's very popular, very influential to put on a pair of shoes and say it's cool. And look what happened. Travis Scott. Look what happened, Drake.
So go grab some S-Dots.
No, I'm not gonna grab no S-Dots. But you feel me? Like collab. I even hate saying the word collab because it's such a general thing.
I think it's a big part of its staying power, and
like I said, as long as people look up to people and talk what people do, it's going to keep going.
Yeah, but like somebody like Kanye's shoes is a big difference between like the S-Dots or like the G Units or like Master.
Well, because Kanye designed the shoes.
That's what I'm saying. But he has a creative vision that not every rapper has.
But what?
Not every rapper's collabs are gonna do that. You feel me?
But what collaborator right now designs their shoes?
Kanye to a certain extent.
Besides Kanye, I'm on
exactly.
I
don't know that all these.
Nowadays, collabs are just a colorway.
But the only but you said rapper. The only rapper collabs that do anything are Travis Scott and Kanye, right? Who else? Give me another name. Exactly.
Well, those Charles Campino shoes did do well.
You could have said Pharrell for a minute, but
and those Kendrick Lamar Nikes did do well. The Cortez did well as well.
Right. That's so.
And he didn't design.
You said Kendrick Lamar. Who else?
Kendrick Lamar and Charles Campino back when he had that Adidas collab, it did pretty well.
I don't really remember that, but as far as like the three names I mentioned, as far as like shoes that have really gone somewhere, is Pharrell, Kanye, and
Travis Scott.
And all three of them like have, I guess, like part of their brand or whatever is like their creativity. Like Pharrell, like they all. I'm not going to say Travis Scott.
I'm going to say Travis Scott.
I dropped Travis Scott out of that conversation. Pharrell and Kanye both were instrumental as pushing fashion forward, both of them. You feel me?
Right.
So like I can see them like having like more influence as far as like them doing the collab and stuff. But like as far as that, and honestly, bro, we gonna have to see with Travis Scott to see how long this lasts, where everything he touches is selling out. Because I don't know that that's gonna be the case. But like I said, like someone like Jay-Z that's like phenomenal artist, don't get me wrong, you know, great businessman and all that, but he isn't like
he doesn't appeal to a young crowd.
Yeah, like it's not even that. Even back then, like he was never like big on like pushing
fashion.
Like he started trends with certain stuff. Like you see him like back then wearing like a Richard Mille or like AP, like way before anybody else was and stuff like that. But as far as like fashion in total, like he never really was, you know, like that big in like the fashion arena type shit.
Right.
So, I mean, like, it's not the fact that it's just, oh, you're a rapper, you're gonna make something popular. I don't think it's that simple. I think it's got to be someone that has some type of like
creativity,
influence, like fashion wise. Yeah, definitely. It's got to be that.
But yeah, I think Future will be fine. Like last time.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, like sneakers are never like. There's always gonna be a popular sneaker that people,
right?
You know, like that's gonna be sought after. Like this other conversation, the Babes.
Babes, yep, Babes, yep. That was a big thing, and it's still a big thing. People, Babes still sells out.
It's always gonna be something, but it's always gonna go in cycles. There's always gonna be something that's gonna go out of style. Like you feel me, like. Fashion, especially hip hop fashion, that
comes
shit
and goes.
Like that shit comes and goes. Like, nothing, bro, like.
Next topic, last topic, bonus topic. What do you think the music influence on the shoe culture? That'll be our topic probably for another episode. What do you think?
I can talk about that all day. You know I like to talk if you ain't get that by now.
About the musical influence from the greats of Nas and Mobb Deep and Outkast and Jay-Z and I don't know, Rockefeller, Kanye, Common. Like, what do you think? Like how much has music influenced shoes up until this point? I think
there would be no sneaker culture the way it was if it wasn't for music influence.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean.
Run DMC.
Yeah, facts. That drove like hip hop drove most of what's popular. Like even around this area where like. Back in the day, like hip hop wasn't even that big. It was mostly go-go, but like that, like whatever, like people would go out to concerts or whatever, like whatever the artist was wearing, which in turn always came back from what the streets was wearing, of course, but like like that was always a big, cause like the music is really what takes whatever's going on like in the streets and puts it like on full display for the rest of the world to see. So. Of course, that's always gonna drive like fashion. Like that's always gonna be a big component. The main component. I feel like as far as like delivering it to the mass. Up
until Boost came out, Ultra Boost, stuff like that, and I really started taking note of it. But yeah, though I think Kanye really did his thing with that, and like is genius. You feel me? Like you can't tell me no one as a musician as good as a musician. Producer, fashion taste, influencer. He had us wearing holes out hoodies in senior year of high school.
He ain't had me doing that.
and hoodie, short sleeve hoodies.
Yeah, so, he had somebody doing that, not me.
Yeah. But yeah, guys. So I just want to quickly just wrap it up. Thank you for coming over, and like we may have to do a second take today. Hopefully the camera's been focused. Hopefully, but we're gonna watch it afterwards just to see. Thanks for coming, man, sharing some knowledge. Make sure you go out there and rep the team, man. Show them what you got on today.
I don't shop with nobody else.
You can't see it, man.
I don't got shoes like that, but when I do,
Vipersoles, man. Vipersoles. Make sure you check out the website. Make sure you check out my next live cop next Saturday or this Saturday coming up. Whenever I post this, and just some closing thoughts, guys. Thank you for supporting me. I know it's been a slow month, like I always say, but just keep it with me. I'm gonna put out some more tutorials because Cyber 5.0 is coming out soon, and things starting to change. The Yeezy Day is coming up in 2 weeks, so.
That's something.
What?
No, I had to throw this plug in. You need a DJ.
Oh yeah, DJ Scratt. I will put his details below. Absolutely. For DJing. He'll do weddings, parties, mainly house parties, stuff like that. Make sure you check out Matt, DJ Scratt. I'll link his Instagram and his Twitter or whatever his contact below. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming. I'm gonna keep on pushing out content. We had some good conversation with some difficult topics. We tackled them all. Like I said, I don't think I offended anybody on this podcast at all. But I'm gonna say if you got offended, I don't mean to offend you, but I guess I should say it because it was so long. But yeah, guys, I want to say thank you to all my followers, no matter where you're from. And just keep on supporting, man, guys. It really means a lot. Next time will be Abdullah. I'm gonna try to figure out a way how to get 3 people in the frame, so we can have me and Abdullah and then special guests each time. Have 3 people. Yeah, but this lens doesn't zoom, so it sucks. But without further ado, me and Matt Spain would like to say thank you. Please be safe for the nice weekend upcoming in this week, and I'll check back in with y'all and hopefully you enjoy this podcast. Without further ado. Be safe, take care. Vipersoles out. Peace.